See this? A country shaped like a dragon, stretching across Southeast Asia, where ancient traditions collide with modern ambition, where you can get a haircut on the sidewalk, drink beer in the streets without getting arrested, and where crossing the road becomes an Olympic sport. Sound too wild to be true? Welcome to Vietnam, a nation that refuses to play by the rules you thought you knew. What if I told you there's a country where women run 40% of all businesses, where people go grocery shopping on rivers instead of roads, and where a single cave is so massive it could swallow a 40-story building whole? By the end of this video, you'll discover why this S-shaped nation is one of the most fascinating places on Earth. And trust me, fact number 10 about their language will completely blow your mind. So buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into 15 absolutely shocking facts about Vietnam that most travel guides won't tell you. Let's get started. Fact 1. The strategic S-shaped powerhouse. Welcome to our channel. Let's begin with Vietnam's unique geography. This isn't just any country. It's strategically positioned like a bridge connecting the world's most powerful economies. Bordered by China to the north, Laos and Cambodia to the west, and embraced by the vast East Sea to the east and south, Vietnam sits at the crossroads of international maritime trade routes. Covering 331,212 square kilometers, roughly the size of New Mexico, Vietnam ranks 65th globally in area. But don't let that fool you. Within this compact nation lies extraordinary diversity, from Phan Xipang Peak, soaring 3,143 meters high as Southeast Asia's tallest mountain, to lush plains teeming with fertile soil and intricate mangrove ecosystems. The coastline alone stretches over 3,260 kilometers, adorned with natural masterpieces like Ha Long Bay, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and Mai Kay Beach, which Forbes crowned as one of Earth's most stunning shores. If ocean paradise is what you seek, Vietnam will capture your heart. The climate is equally diverse. Northern regions experience all 4 seasons with distinct characteristics, while the south maintains a tropical rhythm of wet and dry seasons with year-round warmth. Central Vietnam experiences the most dramatic climate shifts, from scorching dry winds to intense rainy seasons prone to flooding. With approximately 100 million people as of 2024, Vietnam ranks 15th in global population. But here's what makes it special. 54 distinct ethnic groups call this nation home, creating a cultural tapestry unmatched anywhere else. The Kin people represent 85 to 90% of the population, while minorities like the Hmong, Thai, Tay, Muong, and Khmer contribute vibrant traditions that enrich the nation's festivals and customs. Fact 2. The enigmatic beauty of Vietnamese women. When discussing Asian beauty, Vietnamese women consistently leave an indelible mark. Their gentle grace, luminous skin, expressive eyes, and distinctive elegance have earned Vietnam a top spot on Insider Monkey's ranking of countries with the most beautiful women in Asia. But beauty is only part of the story. Vietnamese women are absolute powerhouses in the business world. According to Forbes 2024, Vietnam leads all of Southeast Asia with 40% of businesses run by women, a staggering figure compared to the global average of just 28%. Ms. Nguyen Thi Puong Thao became Southeast Asia's first self-made female billionaire, inspiring millions of young women to dream bigger and act bolder. However, behind these impressive achievements lies a complex reality. Gallup surveys reveal Vietnamese women spend over 5 hours daily on housework, Perhaps this rigorous training explains their extraordinary multitasking abilities, simultaneously managing companies and households without complaint. Sometimes their success is taken for granted because they're accustomed to working twice as hard without voicing their struggles. In relationships, Vietnamese women are known for loyalty and emotional depth, but they're far from dependent. They're open-minded, welcoming to foreigners, and increasingly embrace multicultural partnerships built on sincerity, respect, and understanding. An interesting modern trend: more Vietnamese women are finding partners through dating apps like Tinder and social media. Cohabitation before marriage has increased by 25% in recent years, showing that the new generation isn't just beautiful and capable, they're proactive about choosing their own paths in love and life. Want to know the secret to winning a Vietnamese woman's heart? Drop a 2 in the comments and we'll reveal it. Fact number 3, the motorbike kingdom. Alright, prepare yourself for this statistic. Vietnam has approximately 72 to 75 million registered motorbikes as of 2024. That means nearly 3/4 of the population owns at least one. For every 100 people, there are 75 motorbikes, a ratio that would make even speed-loving nations envious. In major cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, motorbikes account for 85 to 90% of all traffic. So if you witness an ocean of motorbikes flooding the streets each morning, congratulations, you're experiencing Vietnam's signature spectacle. Why so many motorbikes? Well, the answer is simple: unmatched convenience. They weave effortlessly through maze-like alleys, dramatically reducing travel time despite traffic congestion, and they're incredibly cost-effective to operate. In urban areas where every square meter costs a fortune, motorbikes are transportation saviors. More importantly, motorbikes are livelihoods for millions. From delivering goods and transporting market produce to carrying street food and hauling bulky items, refrigerators, even entire litters of pigs, everything gets loaded onto 2 wheels. For Vietnamese people, a motorbike isn't just transportation, it's an irreplaceable part of life and urban culture. Of course, this motorbike dominance creates challenges: air pollution, noise, and endless congestion during peak hours. These issues demand comprehensive solutions from both government and community. First-time foreign visitors need this crucial survival tip. When crossing streets, don't run, don't freeze. Instead, walk slowly and steadily with confident eye contact. Let the motorbike riders flow around you like water around a stone. Trust the process. In Vietnam, crossing the street is truly an art form. If this is your first time in Vietnam, get ready to see things that would seem a bit dodgy elsewhere but are completely normal here, even celebrated as brilliant bits of culture. First up, pavement haircuts. A little stool, a makeshift mirror, some basic tools. That's all it takes to set up a proper mobile barbershop. With the sun shining, motorbikes buzzing, and the odd bird singing, you can get a fresh trim for the price of your breakfast. In places like the States, running a pavement business like this could land you a fine, but in Vietnam, it's a lively part of the city scene. But that's not even the most interesting bit. You can absolutely sit and have a beer outdoors without fretting about getting into trouble. Pavements, parks, or bustling pedestrian streets like Bui Vien or Ta Hien, anywhere becomes a spot for a drink. A small table, plastic chairs, and a cold beer, that's all you need to kick off a party. Here, beer isn't just a drink, it's the best way to socialize. And here's another shocker. Buying medicine without a doctor's prescription is standard practice. Back home, you'd spend ages waiting for a prescription, but in Vietnam, you just pop into a chemist, quickly explain what's wrong, and get your medicine straight away. It's so efficient that many tourists don't know whether to cheer or worry. Fact 5, extraordinary customs of ethnic minorities. First, let's chat about the Hmong tradition of bride kidnapping in Vietnam. Now, it sounds a bit alarming, but it's actually a traditional way of courting. When two people have decided to tie the knot, the young man kidnaps the girl to his home as a formal marriage proposal. If she's happy to stay and both families agree, a proper wedding follows. But if she doesn't fancy it, she's absolutely free to leave. No one can force her. It's a custom that sounds odd, but it really respects freedom of choice. Loads of ethnic groups in Vietnam have their own unique marriage rituals. The Red Dao people, for instance, throw wedding ceremonies that last several days with elaborate parades, dancing, singing and worship that could wear out the guests before the feast even kicks off. Meanwhile, among the Aid people, women are the ones who propose to men. After getting hitched, the groom moves into the wife's house, a rare matriarchal tradition in Asia. Imagine being proposed to in reverse. Both a bit nerve-wracking and exciting, eh? And even at funerals, some ethnic groups keep up special rituals. The Lolo and Tay people practice what they call feeding the deceased, where they bring rice and dishes to the mouth of the person who's passed away. This is really meant to show respect for elders and the belief that the soul is still present. The Hani people, on the other hand, put up wooden statues representing the deceased. Then they invite ancestors to eat, chat and confide next to the statue, as if there had been no separation at all. In Vietnam, each unique cultural feature tells stories about devotion, love, and connections that go beyond the boundaries between life and death. Would you dare to join a 5-day wedding ceremony, or confide in a wooden statue like the Han He people? Pop your thoughts in the comments. Fact 6. The coffee culture phenomenon. Vietnam is currently the world's second largest coffee exporter, just behind Brazil, and pretty much dominates the Robusta coffee market with about 40% of global production. Interestingly, while Arabica coffee is generally preferred worldwide for being milder, Vietnamese Robusta gets top marks from baristas for its bold, strong flavor, high caffeine kick, and its ability to produce a thick creamer. From these Robusta beans, Vietnam produces civet coffee, a fancy variety often listed among the 10 most expensive coffees on the planet, a symbol of sophistication and luxury among those in the know. Vietnam grabs international attention not just for how much it produces, but for its unique brewing methods. The best example is iced milk coffee, or cà phê sua ja, a national icon that CNN voted as one of the world's best coffees thanks to its perfect mix of strong fin-filtered coffee, sweet condensed milk, and ice. You simply can't miss out on one-of-a-kind creations like rich, smooth egg coffee, which National Geographic raved about as a coffee. You absolutely must try before you kick the bucket, or interesting twists like salt coffee and coconut coffee. Coffee in Vietnam isn't just a drink, it's an essential part of daily life. Coffee shops, from simple pavement stalls to modern places, are perfect spots for a good natter and sharing stories. Coffee get-togethers help Vietnamese people keep up their relationships while also giving them a chance to chill out and enjoy some warm moments amidst the hustle and bustle of life. Fact 7. Agricultural export giant. Vietnam isn't just brilliant at exporting coffee. It's actually a leading global agricultural powerhouse. As of 2024, this S-shaped nation consistently ranks among the top 15 largest agricultural exporters worldwide and, actually holds the #1 spot globally for many goods. Vietnam is the undisputed king of cashew nut exports worldwide, leading in both how much they sell and how much it's worth. The world's #1 spot for black pepper also belongs to Vietnam, and dragon fruit makes up over 80% of the global market share. What's more, Vietnam is in the top 3 globally for rice exports, with the ST25 variety once hailed as the world's best rice, alongside loads of tropical fruits and farmed shrimp. This achievement isn't by chance, it's down to 3 main things. Firstly, Vietnam has a widespread tropical monsoon climate, creating perfect natural conditions for all sorts of crops, from rice to abundant tropical fruits. Secondly, fertile land combined with a dense network of rivers provides a great environment for growing rice, fruit trees, and industrial crops. Finally, Vietnam's agricultural workers are known for being hardworking, creative, and always embracing new scientific and technical advancements. This lovely blend of good nature and hardworking people has meant that Vietnamese agricultural products not only meet local demand, but also reach international markets, cementing their global standing. Fact 8. The world's largest cave. Son Doong Cave, recognized as the world's largest cave, is located in Pong Ha Ke Bang, a UNESCO Natural Heritage Site in Vietnam. With its enormous size and unique structure, Son Doong has grabbed global attention since it was discovered in 2009, a natural wonder still holding many unexplored mysteries. Stretching 9 kilometers long with ceilings reaching 200 meters high and widths up to 150 meters, Son Doong boasts dimensions so massive it could completely fit a 40-story building. The cave formed roughly 2 to 5 million years ago through erosion by underground rivers flowing through limestone layers, gradually creating vast chambers and unique rock formations. Inside, there's a primeval forest and an underground river, creating a magnificent space like an isolated planet within Earth. Son Doong has its own independently developed ecosystem where, honestly, many rare species might still be undiscovered. This isolated environment really looks like a real-life Jurassic Park, where life keeps evolving under distinct natural conditions far from the outside world. One special thing about Son Doong is its giant stalagmites, reaching up to 80 meters tall. These formations grew over millions of years from minerals in dripping water, creating bizarre and impressive limestone structures that form an incredibly majestic natural space, completely different from anywhere else on Earth. The BBC describes Son Doong as, Vietnam's gift to adventurers. However, to protect the natural environment, unique species and geological structures, only about 1,000 tourists can visit Son Doong each year. The expedition costs a hefty $3,000. An expensive adventure, but completely worth adding to any wild nature lover's bucket list. Fact 9. The floating market wonder. No need for huge shopping centers or supermarkets. In Vietnam's Mekong Delta, people go to market on the river. Floating markets, vibrant symbols of the Mekong Delta, are places where buying and selling happen right on wooden boats anchored on the water. Every early morning, hundreds of boats gather in the middle of the river. Each boat is a shop packed with fruits, vegetables, seafood, dried goods, and even coffee, banh mi, crab noodle soup and pho. Everything is, as complete as a market on land. The interesting bit: no one needs to shout or advertise loudly. Sellers simply hang the items they're selling on poles sticking up at the front of the boat. By looking at that display, buyers can easily spot where to stop, a unique kind of floating signboard found only at this special market. The most famous is Kai Rang Floating Market in Can Tho, which CNN honored as one of the world's most unique markets. Nowhere else can you sit on a river, order coffee, and eat a hot bowl of pho without leaving your boat, swaying on the waves. These experiences come from the clever hands of vendors who row boats, cook, and chat lively with customers as if they were long-lost relatives reuniting. In the early morning light, with mist still hanging over the water, the sounds of engines and vendor calls, along with the smells of food and ripe fruit, the whole market becomes a vivid picture of the generous and simple life of the Mekong Delta people. If you get the chance, try spending a morning drifting along with the rhythm of the floating market waves. You might just fall in love with it. Fact number 10. One of the world's hardest languages. Vietnamese, the official language of Vietnam, often pops up on lists of the world's most difficult languages, especially for Western learners. The main reason? 6 tones. For the same syllable, simply changing how you say it completely alters the meaning, turning communication into a surprising experience. Furthermore, Vietnamese has a treasure trove of interesting words with multiple meanings. A single word can be understood differently depending on the context, leaving learners both surprised and a bit overwhelmed. And that's not all. The Vietnamese system of pronouns and addressing terms is incredibly mind-boggling. It's not simply I and you, like in English. Vietnamese speakers have to pick from dozens of ways to refer to each other depending on age, status, and relationship. Communicating in Vietnamese sometimes feels like playing a brain game. It's tricky but, extremely interesting, and it will certainly leave a lasting impression. Fact 11. A tapestry of beliefs. Vietnam is a land rich in spiritual life, where various forms of belief develop side by side and honestly blend seamlessly into community life. Among these, 3 forms really stand out: Buddhism, Mother Goddess worship, and ancestor worship. Each one leaves a deep mark on the national culture. Buddhism, brought in thousands of years ago, has deeply embedded itself in the Vietnamese way of thinking, clearly seen through ancient pagodas, life philosophies, and major annual festivals. Vietnam hosting the United Nations Vesak celebration in 2025, bringing together over 80 countries, once again confirms Buddhism's importance and role in the Asian cultural sphere. Famous places like Tran Quoc Pagoda, Yentu Pagoda, and Bai Din Pagoda also serve as spiritual destinations with distinctive architecture. Mother Goddess worship, closely linked to folk beliefs, honors goddesses who reflect the spirit of respecting nature and femininity in Vietnamese culture. The ritual of Hao Dong, a prominent rite in this belief, is highly theatrical, combining ritual, music and costume, and has been recognized by UNESCO as unique cultural heritage. Meanwhile, ancestor worship, though simple without complex rituals, plays a central role in Vietnamese family life. Each home altar isn't just a place to remember and show gratitude to the deceased, but also a symbol of continuing family lines and the principle of when eating fruit, remember the tree planter. The harmonious blend of these beliefs has, created a diverse spiritual culture that really reflects the combination of long-standing traditions and new vitality, constantly interacting with global cultures of the Vietnamese people. Fact 12. Unforgettable festivals. Vietnam has over 8,000 festivals, but not all are created equal. Some festivals are so captivating you just can't take your eyes off them. Let's explore the most prominent ones. Tết Nguyên Đán, or Lunar New Year, is Vietnam's most important festival. This is when families get together, remember their ancestors, and wish each other peace for the new year. Everywhere is buzzing with this lively flower market atmosphere, featuring vibrant plants and flowers, while houses are lavishly decorated with lanterns and red couplets. Everyone prepares traditional feast together, performs solemn New Year's Eve rituals, and exchanges red lucky money envelopes containing good wishes. Lively activities like lion dances and traditional folk games, create these distinctive and warm cultural scenes. After Tet comes the Huang Pagoda Festival, happening from roughly the 1st to 3rd lunar month in Hanoi. This pilgrimage to Buddhist land draws thousands from all over to pray for peace and good fortune. The journey often starts with a boat trip along the romantic Yen Stream, flanked by majestic limestone mountains. Afterwards, visitors climb mountains to visit temples, pagodas and caves hidden within nature. The festival isn't just about showing belief, but also admiring beautiful scenery and listening to traditional Katru and Hat Chauvan melodies. Another unique festival is the Hue Festival, held every 2 years in Hue City as an international-scale cultural event. This festival honors and promotes the cultural and historical values of the former imperial capital. Here you'll witness reenactments of ancient royal ceremonies, enjoy solemn royal court music and lyrical Hue singing. Besides these, countless special traditional and contemporary art programs, lively street parades, and unique art exhibitions attract loads of participants. Finally, the Sapa Love Market takes place every Saturday night in Sapa Town as a unique cultural feature of the Northwestern Highlands. This is where young men and women from ethnic minorities like the Hmong and Dao meet, socialize and find partners. Visitors hear the poignant sounds of the khaen, a traditional instrument calling for lovers, heartfelt courtship songs, and participate in graceful traditional dances or fun folk games. The Sapa Love Market offers a cultural space that's both romantic and rich in Highland identity. Each festival in Vietnam isn't just a chance for fun activities but an opportunity to understand more about the culture, history and spiritual values of Vietnamese people. Which festival will you take part in when you visit Vietnam? Share with us in the comments. When exploring Vietnam, certain destinations simply cannot be missed, not only for their natural beauty, but also for their cultural depth, history, and experiences found nowhere else. Hanoi, Vietnam's 1,000-year-old capital, stands out with its blend of classical French architecture, ancient temples and pagodas, and vibrant pace of life. You can explore the old quarter, visit the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, and enjoy signature egg coffee. This is an ideal starting point to better understand Vietnamese culture and the rhythm of people's lives. You cannot skip Ho, a place preserving unique historical and cultural values of the Nguyen dynasty. The most prominent highlight is the Hue Imperial City, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, along with ancient royal tombs, offering deep insights into the glorious past. Besides admiring unique architecture, Hue captivates tourists with distinctive royal cuisine, featuring famous dishes like rich bun bo hue and refined bang bao and ban nam. Leaving bustling cities, you'll find peace and spectacular beauty in Sapa, a small town nestled in northern Vietnam's mountains. This area is famous for its cool climate, ethnic minority villages, and vast terraced rice fields. You can trek through villages, interact with Hmong or Dao ethnic people, or challenge yourself by conquering Fansipan Peak, Southeast Asia's highest mountain. The majestic natural scenery and local hospitality will make your trip unforgettable. Next, we must mention Ha Long Bay, one of Vietnam's most famous natural wonders. With over 1,600 magnificent limestone islands, Ha Long Bay is recognized by UNESCO as a World Natural Heritage Site. Visitors can experience cruising the bay by boat, explore mysterious caves, or participate in activities like kayaking and swimming to immerse themselves in the bay's stunning landscape. Ha Long is truly ideal for nature lovers seeking relaxation in peaceful spaces. Finally, Phu Quoc, a beautiful southern island. With fine white sand beaches, clear blue water, and luxurious resorts, Phu Quoc offers an ideal setting to relax and enjoy your holiday. Here you can join activities like diving and swimming or simply watch sunsets from beach bars. Besides, Phu Quoc is famous for attractive night markets where you can find delicious fresh seafood or interesting souvenirs. Fact 14. A culinary odyssey. Vietnamese cuisine is a journey exploring surprising flavors where regional differences create unique culinary culture, unlike any other in the world. The north impresses with light, delicate, and less spicy cuisine. Dishes like bun thang, Hanoi pho, and bun cha all focus on preserving natural sweetness from bone broth and vegetables. Notably, pho, considered the soul of Vietnamese cuisine, has reached global fame, recognized by CNN in the top 50 best dishes on the planet. Hanoi bun cha, after being enjoyed by President Obama during a visit, also became a global culinary phenomenon. Moving to the central region, the palate becomes bolder, spicier, and more colorful. Bun bo hue, ban khoai, and mi quang aren't just delicious dishes, but works of art on the table, reflecting the meticulousness and sophistication of the former imperial capital's cuisine. Careful preparation and presentation show the imprint of a region that once served royal banquets. Finally, the South welcomes you with a liberal culinary style in combining ingredients and flavors. The characteristic rich sweetness, diversity of ingredients, and cultural intersection of Khmer, Chinese, and Cham cuisines create unique dishes like hutu, com tam, and banzheo. Each dish tells a story of Southern people's hospitality and limitless ability to transform ingredients. Whether you seek elegance, boldness, or innovative culinary experiences, Vietnam is always ready to treat you to a surprising and unforgettable feast for the senses. Fact 15. Affordable paradise. Living in Vietnam not only offers rich cultural experience, but surprises you with incredibly affordable cost of living, especially compared to major Western cities. In big cities like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $400 to $800 per month. If you opt for a smaller studio or an apartment outside the center, you'll only need $250 to $500. Utility costs for electricity, water, and internet run around $50 to $100 monthly. For dining, street food dishes like bun pho or com tam cost only $1 to $2 per portion, with flavors capable of beating many international restaurants. If you desire a more luxurious meal, dinner at a high-end restaurant is only about $5 per person. If you cook yourself, you'll only need about $25 per week for fresh food ingredients. Transportation in Vietnam is also very cheap. A bus ride is only about $0.40, while taxis or ride-hailing services like Grab and Be for short distances range from just $3 to $5. If you prefer freedom, renting a motorbike costs only about $50 per month. Other costs are equally affordable. A gym membership is $15 to $50 monthly. Laundry is $1 to $2 per kilogram, and a basic dental checkup is only $10 to $30 per visit. Cumulatively, the total monthly cost of living in Vietnam for one person ranges from approximately $700 to $900. With this standard of living, you'll find that every dollar spent here can buy both convenience and daily joy. So, we've just explored 15 surprising facts about Vietnam together. Which fact impressed you the most? Or do you know any other interesting things about this country? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you found this video helpful and want to continue exploring many other fascinating stories, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos. See you again in our next adventures. Remember, the world is full of incredible stories waiting to be discovered, and we're here to bring them to you. The information presented is for reference only.